everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Luna and today we are going to be doing my TBR for December with my TBR wheel. Usually I read about 7 to 20 books a month depending on the month, but today I will be only choosing 5 books as it's December and it's the holiday season, so I don't want to stress myself. And because of my ADHD, I sometimes also want to have a little bit of wiggle room so that I can choose some books that are not on my TBR. So all of these books are probably also going to be in reading vlogs, which I will be filming throughout December. And the first reading vlog should be going up this Sunday. Hopefully I can get this TBR up on Monday, which is December 1st, but as I'm still extremely new to this, I can't promise. So I would say let's choose my first book for December by spinning the wheel. I will be putting up the wheel probably here or on this side so that you can see what the prompt is going to be for the first book. So let's see. Okay, so it is a book with less than 300 pages. I'm going to take a look right now. Okay, so for the first book I have chosen Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I'm going to read you the synopsis real quick. After their mother passes, 3 estranged siblings reunite to sort out her estate. Beth, the oldest, never left home. She stayed with her mom, caring for her until the very end. Nicole, the middle child, has been kept at arm's length due to her ongoing battle with a serious drug addiction. Michael, the youngest, lives out of state and hasn't been back to their small Wisconsin town since their father ran out on them several years before. While going through their parents' belongings, the siblings stumble upon a collection of home videos and decide to revisit those happier memories. However, the nostalgia is cut short when one of the VHS tapes reveals a night back in 1999 that none of them have any recollection of. On screen, their father appears to be covered in blood. What follows is a dead body and a pact between the parents to get rid of it, before the video abruptly ends. Beth, Nicole, and Michael must now decide whether to leave this past in the past or uncover the dark secret their mother took to their grave. So this book really sounds like really exciting, especially because I haven't really read a thriller in such a long time. I think the last one was in September of this year, so it is nearly like 3 months ago. So I really want to read this, especially since it's like only 273 pages, and I also have it like lent out on my Libby app, so it's probably one of the highest priorities that I should read it in this month. So this is going to be the first book of my 5 books in December. I'm going to share my screen again so that we can choose the next one on my TBR. Okay, and let's spin the wheel. Okay, so we have a no people on the cover prompt. I will take a look to see what I can find on my TBR right now. Something I also wanted to mention is that I only read on my Kindle at the moment because my flat is like really small, so I don't really have any space to have an entire bookshelf, so I can only read most of the books on my Kindle. So I will be only putting the cover of the book on the side so that you can see the book that I will be choosing, since I sadly don't have it in my hands, like physically. Okay, so looking at my Kindle library, I can see that I have a lot of books that don't have any person on the cover because I read mostly fantasy and they don't really tend to have any people on the covers. It's mostly like swords or any like really intricate details on the covers, but I haven't really seen any covers with people on the cover since like the early 2010s. So I will get through some of the books I really want to read this month. So the first one is Iron and Embers. I have seen this book multiple times throughout November and October, especially since some of the booktubers that I've been watching have been reading this book on their own as well. So due to that, I have put it on my TBR as well. And since it's on Kindle Unlimited, I've downloaded it right away as well. Then another book that I'm really excited to read, and I have already actually started it, but I didn't really get far into it because I have been struggling to read the last few months because I've been in a reading slump. But the next book I really want to get to this month is Direbound, which is kind of like a crossover, like it kind of has the feels and the vibes of Fourth Wing, which I really enjoyed. It's like a 5-star of mine that I've read last year, I think. And then in last year I also read the second book, but I didn't read the third book yet because I'm like really scared because the second book left on a really big cliffhanger. So I've been really scared to read that one. But yes, so Direbound is like, what I've heard is like Fourth Wing, but like with wolves and like dire wolves that you can bond to. And I really enjoyed the first few chapters that I've read myself in the past. So that is an option that I would be thinking of choosing for this prompt. And the third book that I would be able to choose for this prompt that I'm really excited to read as well would be My Little Slinger. I have heard so many good things about this book over the past year, I think even. I think the first time I've heard about this book was in summer or even earlier than that, because I've been watching Emmy Rossum, another booktuber, and she really liked this book, like really liked it. So I was really compelled to read it myself, but I didn't read it yet. So I kind of really want to get to it this December and put it on my TBR. I will read through all of the synopsis again and let you know which book I have chosen for this prompt. Okay, I think the second book that I will choose because of this TBR prompt is going to be Iron and Embers. I will be reading to you the synopsis of the book. I've been made no secret of what I want. You. It's always been you. Ran Amberwhale, alchemist turned assassin, finds solace in only one thing, seeking vengeance for the death of her friends. The wars of the past may be over, but her thirst of revenge is far from quenched. For years, she has been content with her poisons and potions for company, but when an unknown form of alchemy is used to attack a king of mid-realms, Ren's time in the shadows comes to an end. She's offered a place at the ancient alchemy academy of Drevenor to find a cure to the dark magic threatening the kingdoms. To win her spot, she must conquer the gauntlet, a grueling series of deadly trials that could cost her sanity or her life. More is at play than sabotage from fellow competitors. Magic wielders are being targeted, and Ren becomes tangled in a dangerous web of deception and bloodshed that puts the entire realm at risk. But the biggest threat of all might come from the man assigned to protect her, Torch Elderbrock, the silver-haired war hero who has hated her since she assassinated his last child. Their shared history ignites a simmering tension that threatens to consume them both. Peace is fragile, trust is scarce, and enemies lurk around every corner. Will love heal all wounds, or will it be the most lethal poison of all? So I chose this book because I really love kind of high-stakes fantasy, especially high-stakes romantasy. I fell in love with the high-stakes romantasy kind of with Fourth Wing last year. So I love challenges in books, and I really love when people are kind of finding their death. So this book kind of intrigued me the most at the moment. So I will be choosing this for the second prompt of December TBR. So I will start sharing my screen again so that we can choose the third book on my December TBR. So let's spin. Okay, so it is going to be a book that has been published this year, and I think I already know which book I will be choosing. So for this book, for the third book on my December TBR, I'm going to be choosing Direbound because, as I have mentioned in my last clip when choosing the second book, I have already read a little bit of this book and I really enjoyed it, so I want to completely finish it in this month. especially since I have already started it and really liked the first few chapters that I've read. Let me read you the synopsis that I can find. Fourth Wing meets the Hunger Games in this spicy page-turning romantasy where humans and direwolves forge unbreakable bonds and fight for survival at all costs. Only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. Marion Cooper has always hated the Bondland, elite warriors who form metal links with the massive, vicious direwolves she rides. While they live in luxury, Marion struggles to keep her family out of poverty when her little sister Celia is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting. Marion's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front and save her sister, Marilyn enlists in the army and is thrown into the deadly bonding trials, where any mistake will cost her life. Now Marilyn must survive 4 months of training at the castle. She is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, and her cold and beautiful instructor, Starktarian, is eager to punish any weakness. Everything is competition, and everyone is out to get her. Everyone except the dangerously handsome crown prince, whose attention adds another target on her back. In a castle, every smile hides an eye, and the halls hide dark secrets. It's bond or bleed, duel or die. Failure is ruin. So I can really see myself loving this book, and I even think this could be a 5-star of this year. So I really want to read it, and I think that I will be reading this in reading vlog so that you can see my reactions and also my thoughts on this book whenever I choose to read it. Okay, so I will start screen sharing again, and we will choose my 4th book in my December TBR. So let's spin the wheel. Okay, so we have the prompt a reread. So I thought for a reread this month I could either do the first book of the Shadow Me series or the first book of the Throne of Glass series, because I have read both of them a really long time ago, and I didn't really continue the series because when I wanted to continue I read the book such a long time ago that I didn't even remember what I have read, but I really remember enjoying the books, so I really want to choose either one of these so that I can start the series again and finally finish it, so that I don't feel like I'm out of the loop from everyone. And because I really enjoyed the reads and gave them 5 stars both, I think I would really love the series. So let me see which one I will choose. Okay, so I think that for this prompt for the 4th book of my December TBR, I'm going to be choosing Shatter Me, because Throne of Glass also has like kind of challenges, and I think it would mix a lot with Direbound and also with Iron and Embers. So I think Shatter Me is going to be a little bit different from the books I already have on my December TBR. If you don't know what Shatter Me is about, even though I think you probably all do, because it has been a really popular series, especially since Book Talk has gotten their grip on it and has been talking about it a lot. I'm going to be reading you the synopsis of the book. One touch is all it takes. One touch and Juliet Ferris can leave a fully grown man gasping for air. One touch and she can kill. No one knows why Juliet has such incredible power. It feels like a curse, a burden that one person alone could never bear. But the re-establishment sees it as a gift, sees her as an opportunity for a deadly weapon. Juliet has never fought for herself before, but when she's reunited with the one person who ever cared about her, she finds a strength she never knew she had. So I remember really loving this book, especially I really liked the writing style, and I really love the plot twist at the end. I sadly don't remember a lot of it, but I think that when I will read it, I will start to remember again, and I can continue on with the series after that. So Shatter Me is my 4th book for my December TBR, and let's choose our last and final book for my December TBR. I will start screen sharing my phone again, and let's spin the wheel. Okay, so I have gotten the prompt with a title with 2 words or less. So let me take a look on what is on my TBR right now. Okay, so for the 5th book, I'm going to be choosing Good Spirits by B.K. Borison because I think we have a lot of fantasy on this TBR, and I would like to put in like a small palette cleanser, which is going to be this romance called Good Spirits. I don't usually read a lot of romance because sometimes I think that it's a little bit boring because not much is mostly happening, and I don't really like romance without a plot when it's just like focused on solely the romance, especially when the characters don't really have any chemistry, so that I don't really understand why I should be rooting for them. But I've heard so many good things about Good Spirits, especially since I have been watching Ellen Catherine, another booktuber on YouTube, which has been raving about this book, and she really recommended people to put it on their TBR. And especially since it's a kind of a wintry Christmas book, I would really love to read it this December because it would get me into that holiday spirit, and I think this would be the perfect time to read this. I will be reading you the synopsis. He's the ghost of Christmas past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas past, Nolan Callaghan intends to spend his holiday haunting like every other. Get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, the sweetest assignment he's ever had, he suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. Harriet York has no idea why she's being haunted. She's a good person, or at least she tries to be. A people pleaser to her core, she always does what's expected of her. But as she and Nolan begin to examine her past, they discover there are threads to bind them together, and realize there might be more to moving on than expected. With the deadline of Christmas Eve fast approaching, will they find the key to their futures in each other's pasts? Or will they stay firmly in the present, indulging in their unexpected, spirited connection? Okay, so this really sounds really fun, and it reminds me of a book that I'm currently still reading, which is called Christmas Curse, which is about a witch that gets like her memories stolen, and so in order to get her memories back, she summons, or she tries to summon, the Christmas spirit of past, but while summoning she actually like summons the future. So it kind of reminds me of that book. So I can kind of see myself really enjoying this book because I already enjoyed Christmas Curse. Sadly, it is only in German, so I don't know if you guys would be able to read that one. But I will be reading Good Spirits as my 5th book in my December TBR. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed my first video on this channel, and I really hope that you will stick around. If yes, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you want, please leave a like, as that would really help me out with the algorithm. If you have any prompts that you would like me to add to my TBR wheel, as I will probably be doing this one each month starting next year, so I can add some TBR prompts that you would like to see. Also let me know which books you are trying to read in your December TBR, and yes, I really hope that you have a great day and that you enjoyed this video. Bye bye!